Hello,
Hi.
Tina.
Do I need to wear this? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Mainly for your safety, we wouldn't want
Yeah.
this carpool interview to go
That would
completely.
be crazy.
Be a literal car wreck. First of all, so good to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Has the film even premiered in Sweden, though?
No, I think it's like, someone just told me today, I think it's like December 1st.
Yeah, because I was like trying to get it on HBO and they were like not available here. And I'm
Right.
like, God damn it. Yeah, but the story is absolutely incredible. Like based on a true story. But when I first heard like Reality Winner, I was like, is this a reality show? What's going on?
I know, that's what everyone
Strange
thinks.
name,
I mean, I
but-
thought that the summer after she was arrested in the news
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I saw in another interview when they asked you like what made you take on this project. You were like, this is my protagonist because like
Right.
she's funny, she's smart, and she's weird. And I'm like, are you describing yourself or is it like?
No, I mean, I just really admire reality, and like getting into play with that kind of character
Yeah.
is like such a sweet spot. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's like tough as nails, and yeah.
What's really interesting is that you have a like really theatrical background as well.
Yes, mostly a done stage.
Yeah. And how was that adaptation like from theater to screen?
I mean, they're such different mediums in terms of like the actual technicalities and how you get it made.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I hadn't actually been trained really properly in theater either. You know,
Yeah.
I did go to playwriting school, but I had an instinct for making things and making them the way I wanted to make them, and really learned so much about making things on stage and working with actors. And so I think that work with actors immediately translated my strong instincts on like how something should look and feel. I mean, I had to like, you know, have excellent collaborators on the film who could translate my vision for that to film, since I was
course.
so new to like the terminology and even maybe how you get it there. But
Yeah.
I had strong thoughts on that and a strong sense of like the emotional trajectory of the piece. So that, again, with great collaborators, you know, translates. Like,
Of course.
I know how I want this to look. I know how I want it to feel. I'm open to the changes we will find as it goes.
Yeah.
Those really translated. And the technical stuff, I was learning very quickly. And again, having people beside me that were just excellent, like the DP and the AD and then the editor who you know,
Exactly.
made it possible.
But who were your influences growing up? Because you grew up born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s.
Yeah,
You're from New
80s,
Hampshire,
90s.
right?
Yeah, New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yeah, Hampshire. I made it to British.
Hampshire's a
I made it
little
British.
I mean, so a lot of my influences are those like I mean, to me, it was a heyday of movies like these things with, you know, like John Hughes or like these Christian Slater, like Heathers.
Yeah.
That era, Pump Up the Volume. Those were really influential movies on me. And then Sofia Coppola, like when she came along, that like showed me a kind of movies that, you know, they're very in female spaces, which just felt really new, but taking that totally seriously and taking like the ephemera of girlhood and young womanhood really seriously, and like being, these are codes for being, like that was just very exciting to me. And I love her space where it's not like kind of they're dramedy, you know what I mean? There's some humor, but there's also something like a kind of dark heartbeat actually in those. So those were early influences in me. Then others, like I got really into Hal Hartley. I don't know.
Okay, Hal Hartley. Wait, I recognize.
American. I don't know if he's like an indie film guy. Totally, like kind of. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay, one of my favorite movies ever is his movie Trust.
Trust from 1990. Yeah,
it's so good. Yeah, and then really recently, like in the last 5 years or so, like Michael Haneke, and always very influenced by European movies, just because it's, you know, they do things that are up my alley. Like they don't have to push soundtrack.
No,
actors may not wear as much makeup.
Yeah,
like there's just
it's
things.
more like organic, authentic.
Yeah, so that's always been when I have gotten to see that. You know.
Do you have any favorite movie except for Trust that you just mentioned?
I'll probably say Trust is my favorite movie.
Seriously,
maybe.
wow.
I just love what that movie does. Yeah.
I have to see it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But was there any moment that you like knew, like film or theater, like this industry, this is what I want to do?
I mean, it was late for me. I'd gone to college and studied just like English literature. That I wasn't someone who went to conservatory and thought, oh, I'm going to be an artist. So it was a couple of years after my undergraduate training, and I was like sort of doing like professional writing, like in public relations and stuff, not really art. And then kind of long story, I briefly was being an actor. I was a terrible actor for stage.
Really?
Yeah, really bad. But this was, you know, I was still in my 20s, but I was cast in something with a very interesting company in Portland, Oregon, and I was like kind of immediately like, I'm not getting anything out of being an actor. Like, I'm not feeling an exchange with the audience, and I don't like it, and I don't think I'm that good.
No.
But this company would like often write their own work and direct it, or like deconstruct classics, and something about that was, they were an experimental theater company.
Yeah.
But they took it very seriously, and it was very like, you know, proper hard work, and I something about that, I was like, oh, this is a way of doing something, of like taking ideas, thinking about them, and making something else out of it.
Yeah.
That was very suddenly, like, kind of struck me that I wanted to start writing and making plays.
But studying English must have been vital for you. Like,
I think,
must have
of course,
been a good,
yeah.
like, you know, what do you say? Like when you build a house and the house is standing on something, you know.
Yeah, like the
pillar, or,
yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, I think totally, because I was taken with story and interpreting that, and what characters were. Yes, I had that storytelling idea was deep in my bones. I'd always been a reader, and yes, then studying and reading like Henry James and that stuff.
Exactly.
Did kind of lead this way.
Yeah, but no problems with the government so far after making this movie.
No. I mean, like, on all the iterations, like, I did make a play of it in the movie. It's
exactly in 2019,
if your
right?
phone cuts out, yes.
Yeah.
And that went on a couple years. But if you're like talking to collaborators, you're like, oh my god, we're being bugged, or but no.
Or if we crash now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm always like that. This somehow is probably the least of their concerns, but I don't know.
Yeah. I just really don't hope you get randomly selected on the airport when you're going back to the US.
I know.
That would be
Not yet.
No. How long did it take to shoot this movie?
We shot the movie in 16 days,
Wow.
which is really, really fast, even for a small,
Only 2 weeks.
small location. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you stretch it out because you don't do weekends and all that stuff. So it's about 3 weeks of like actual shooting work, but but really fast.
How long did the post-production take?
Post-production, we started like a week after we wrapped. We wrapped in the end of May 2022, and then I was in the edit like a week after that. So, I mean, post-production kind of went all last summer. Like summer of 22 was the editing. We premiered the movie in February 23 at the Berlin Film Festival. Yeah. And so you're essentially working almost right up till the second that thing goes into the world in a way. Yeah. So that's like whatever that is. Like
now I got a brain freeze because what's the name of the actress playing the
Sydney Sweeney.
Yes, and she was like a machine. She said like I was going through 10 to 15 like pages of dialogue each day.
I mean, she's incredible. She's kind of like a star these days from TV and stuff, but she is such a workhorse and so talented, but then like really there doing the work and incredible craft in front of the camera.
How was it directing her?
It was excellent. I mean, I was learning from her every day because she's actually done so much stuff, and we had come to a really, like, we were very on the same page of how to approach reality. And then, I mean, you could see it. I mean, when you hear what you heard of her talking about going through that text, but she shows up totally prepared. She bangs it out. She's like a high-level athlete, but actor. You know what I mean?
But it's insane also. This is actually, I forgot, this is like your director debut.
Yes.
Wow. It has gotten so well receptive of what I've seen so far, and the trailer looks amazing as well.
Good.
No, it looks like I get nervous just by watching the trailer.
Really good.
and like, so how from that standpoint, what was that like mentally? How was it to throw yourself into this? Was it something that you were did you feel like you're throwing yourself into fire, or like how did it feel?
I mean, you just have to do it, right? You just have to literally put one foot in front of the other every step of the way. I felt so lucky that I had gotten this break to direct a feature, and that it was going to be taken like production-wise really seriously. We were going to go for awesome actors and do it every second inside my body on set. Every second I was like subconsciously like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. But you just have to do it. And I had not done film like a feature, but I had done so much theater and made, you know, big proper shows and toured those around, and that's its own like really nerve-wracking, incredibly hard experience. So I think I was used to like dealing with the stakes for whatever they are for art making. It's not brain surgery or like something like that, but feel really high and stressful in the moment, and you have a lot of people relying on you on either medium. So I think I had that.
You're quite literally the embodiment of like going into the uncomfortable to achieve, you know, something bigger or greater.
Yes, I think most people making stuff like this
became like an inspirational, motivational speech, but it's true.
Be able to tap into that, and be like, this is going to be not very comfortable, but there'll be so many pleasures and joys, and I'm going to face a lot of stuff I don't know how to do. do, and I'm either going to be honest about that or figure out how to do it, or like, you know, just keep moving through this if I want to do it, and being really prepared.
Yeah.
So that even if you don't know stuff, as much as you can be prepared for what you do know.
That's the last thing I want to
Yeah.
leave you on, because like this is so beautiful, because I used to be a very comfortable in my life and not, you know, afraid of doing things that I knew I sort of wanted to do, but it was too uncomfortable, and I always theorized all the time.
Right.
Like I wanted to have everything figured out, and I realized that you can't. Like you go, and as you go, you figure it out.
Yes, yeah, and that's what's really inspiring about shooting a movie, actually, is like we really prepared because we were shooting so fast. We had these very specific setups we had to get in the time we had, and how to activate. She's interrogated in this really small room for a long time, if you see it.
Yeah.
And so that had to be really planned for. And then they always say on the day, like, you discover new things. Either something goes wrong and you have to pivot, or something like film, this is really exciting, like, oh, that tree actually looks awesome, can we switch this shot to take that in? So yeah, even with all your planning, I think you plan holding this little kind of cool secret space for like what you could find or how to fix the problems, and it's not stressful, but yeah, I think let it not be so precious. Wow. Is helpful.
Tina, it was an honor to meet you.
Oh,
honestly.
thanks.
No,
Great
genuinely.
to talk
like,
to you.
No, honestly, I get so inspired as an aspiring like filmmaker and actor
Yeah.
as well. Like this means the world to me. So fantastic.
Yeah.
And we have also arrived to your destination.
Oh, we're here.
Do you have Instagram or anything where people can find you?
Yes, Instagram is my theater company, Half Straddle / Gina
right,
Satter.
that has received awards and stuff. You're such an OG in the theater game, like for real.
Experimental
really.
New
You're
York
like the theater
but-
godmother from New Hampshire, not Hampshire.
Yeah. Okay,
Pleasure,
thank
Tina.
you so
Take care of
much.
yourself.
Have a good night.
Good luck. All the best.
See you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Go.